He's sold 75 million records worldwide, which makes him one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. Billboard named him the second most successful artist of the 2000s decade. He owns the record label Raymond-Braun Media Group. He's Usher, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, have passion.
What's the secret to your success? Like, what are you doing that makes us care so much about you? What's the secret to Usher?
It's that feeling, man. It's that irreplaceable feeling of real music and entertainment. I feel very fortunate because I've had a lot of people around to help build what it is. But to be able to perform a record, to be able to sell a record through performance, dance, vocally, and the passion of what it is, I think that that's what continues to keep people connected to who I am as an artist, and that R&B music allows you to feel, or my music. I don't know if it's R&B or if it's just music, period. Mm-hmm. The music that I create and that I've lived through and the experiences that I've been able to, borrow from to create inspiration for our songs that we create together. They're real experiences that people can feel. That's an irreplaceable feeling, and soulful music.
Something you can feel.
Yeah, something you can feel.
Rule number 2, find your path.
But I knew what I wanted to do from the age of like 11. So when I figured it out and I had a path, like that felt like it was getting ready to go away. I was like, I don't want to lose this. If I do, I'm gonna die. If I don't have music, if I don't have my entertainment, it's over. It's over for me. So that was one of my lowest.
That's interesting. At 16, you were already nervous about it going away.
Dude, at 13, I was like, I'm out. I was like, I'm figuring this shit out. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I want to entertain. I want to be an artist. My mother was like, you're not going to be one of those people who just sitting around and sleeping on my couch. I said, don't worry about it. I'll be gone by 14. If you can see it in your mind, then it can happen. Because what's out here ain't gonna assist you in that way. You got to find it.
You got to find it, man.
Rule number 3, evolve.
Sure as we all have to set goals for ourselves. Our planned destination is to be busy and to, adjust to whatever you're introduced to. And what I mean by that is, okay, as an entertainer, I started off as a singer. I grew to become a dancer and a performer. After becoming a performer, then I became an actor. After becoming an actor, I became an entrepreneur. After becoming an entrepreneur, I became an entertainer on a different level of introducing other artists. Then, after that, I became a mentor. Right. So I think just to continue to evolve in a way that is beneficial for growth of myself and others. My likeness to continue to be remembered throughout history and associated with something great. Wow. For me, there's a mantra that I've lived by, and it is that the journey of the destination is really what it's all about. The pursuit is more important than the actual destination. So as long as you are moving, as long as you are working, that is the destination.
Wow.
Yeah, the journey. But really it is simply that. The journey is the destination.
I agree.
So as long as you're working, you're good.
Rule number 4, love.
I think that all artists of the past, having gone through what they've gone through or the scrutiny that they go through, it was don't become calloused. Hard. I think that was what he was attempting to say. Remember, you gotta love. You gotta find love as the key to get through so many people coming at you with the negative, because you can't allow what they feel about you to turn you into who they see or want you to be.
Also, if you want to have more videos profiling leaders in the Black community, check out my 254 Black Excellence series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
It's that irreplaceable feeling of real music and entertainment.
Rule number 5, believe in yourself.
I can remember at the age of 9 years old saying, Ma, I want to do that. I want to be like Michael Jackson. I want to be like, New Edition. I want to be like Bobby Brown. I want to do what they do. Well, you got to work at it. Of course, I went through talent shows. There was no American Idol back then. There was no European Idols back in that day.
Which would have been perfect for you, had you been around.
There was Star Search. Actually, I did Star Search, believe it or not.
Right.
Which was an Ed McMahon production in Orlando, Florida. it was the comparison to what I think American Idol is in this day and time. But not many opportunities. So I had to believe in myself. And luckily I had a mother that, helped me to develop and was there with me, to handle the business side because I couldn't do both. But now as I've grown older, I've now even taken more control of that and, are building outside of what I just do in music, building brands. I now am an owner of a basketball team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, in America, and I think it's great to be determined. I think that's what I'll tell them, and to have great work ethics. You gotta work at it if you want to be great at it. Period. And be benevolent in your approach. You have to want it and take no for it. You will never take no for an answer. I can do it. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be good at what I do, and never let anybody tell you can't.
Rule number 6, learn from your failures.
I'm pretty sure there were people who, had their doubts. As I said, art is subjective. Some people have an opinion they like about it, and of course they're entitled to because they're paying their money for it. But, I never let that stop me. I've always been able to turn my hate into great and not really accept any down moments, low peaks as a failure, but yet a lesson to teach me how to be better, stronger, more wise, and resilient. I really have never gotten into the negative stuff. I don't really absorb it.
Rule number 7, pursue your dreams.
I'll just continue to grow and do more. I mean, that's what being a career artist is really about. I created a template of what I wanted to do as a young man and continue to pursue my dreams and be inspired by people who did great things. The great developers, great people who, found musical, cultural movements and wanted to introduce them. Artists who were very fashionable and fashion forward in their process. All of that is who I am. Being a businessman, being an actor, being a writer, being a producer, being a songwriter, being a philanthropist, all of those things. And as long as it's something for me to do, I'm going to be doing it.
When you were growing up, did you always think that this would be where you were going to end up?
No, I didn't. Actually, I only had the dream and the support of the people who encouraged me to believe in myself and my dreams. And without them, I probably would not be where I am. Had I not been, introduced to the right things in the right time. I mean, I do feel like there is no such thing as a coincidence. I do feel like things are destined to happen, ordained to happen, and as a result of hard work, there's a reward. So you put all that together, and you have a success story. But no, as a kid, I didn't see half of what I'm seeing nowadays. But I knew that I wanted to do something in music, and I knew that I wanted to travel the world.
And here you are.
There we go. Here you are.
Rule number 8, surprise people.
Consistently inconsistent. At the end of the day, it's about being in the moment. 20 if you just listen to all of those records,
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, just let those records run, and the audience that made them number one, they're gonna enjoy it. So I want to give them a bit of a new experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it that way then, because I was still working on it. That's the truth. So now that I've gotten closer and am getting closer to this 3-year anticipation of returning to the stage to do a tour.
Yeah.
I've been looking at all of the shows that I did in the past and listening to all of the records and finding the thread that pulls them all together and then mixing and matching them. It's and for me, it's kind of like, I'm gonna give you the show that you would have expected to see, but then throw in a few surprises here and there that you didn't expect. I've done duets. There's a lot of people that I respect and that I've built with. 2 that you do know about, DJ Cassidy and August Alsina. They'll be on the show, but there's a few surprises that happens from market to market. It's never consistent. It changes up every night. Of course, there are certain songs that will consistently be in a certain spot, but you won't be able to hashtag URX tour and see the show. You have to be there. Every night is its own experience. So market to market, if you get the chance to be at this show, it's going to be one of the nights that you remember, not only because of the records that I have for you, but also to a few, the surprises that I got for you.
Rule number 9, make history.
Losing Michael was difficult, but Usher finds comfort in the memories and the lessons he learned from the King of Pop. When you were there for the memorial service in Los Angeles, what was it like for you that day?
Gone too soon.
Aside from it being the greatest honor that I could pay to the artist and the man that made me who I am, it's almost so unrealistic. Like, did it really happen? Is Michael really gone? One thing that Michael told me, one very tender moment that we had together, he said, what you do and what you're capable of doing is not easy. Not everybody can do it, you know? Be mindful of history, because it's never just a moment. It's about making history.
Somebody say,
And making music. As he says, he's back, and with all his success, Usher says this is just the beginning of his story.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is be a role model.
The same way I needed a mentor, the same way I needed someone to motivate me, that became my reality. I want to be that source for Mary. I want to be that source for Dewey. I want to be that source for men and women who feel like no one can hear or understand them. And all they need is the tools to understand how to be great or either apply themselves. You know, I started that effort when I was 16 with the idea that the most influential role model for a child is a child. If I come into your school and I talk to you about what I could do, that's a point of reference. You know, the community, television in a lot of ways, social media, it doesn't show positive images every second. As a matter of fact, we don't celebrate those images as much as we celebrate bullshit, you know?
Well, we did actually get to visit an elementary school where we got to see Usher hang out with the kids for a while. Because of the language barrier, he needed a little help while speaking to them, but once they warmed up to each other, Spanish versus English didn't really matter.
As their substitute teacher for the day, that was my opportunity to let them know, listen, you can loosen up a little bit. I want you to make as much noise as you possibly can. It was just allowing them to have fun. You know, I think that their teachers, their counselors, their principal, you know, told them that, you know, they should be on their best behavior. And I think that's great, that's appropriate. But to be free, to be kids, to be expressive is why I'm there. Is why I came, is why I'm adopting the school, is why I feel like making a contribution by way of supplies, tools, and the means to be creative and be expressive. That's why I'm there. So to let them know, hey, listen, from jump, I'm not your teachers, I'm actually one of you. And we can actually have a great time together. I know you can't understand everything I'm saying, but let's have fun and understand that education at that age, when they hear an adult or a person who's a celebrity tell them that an education is the most important thing to get, it's the truth. It's part of the reason that I've gone as far as I have. And, you know, at 6 and 7, they should be able to have a good time in it, not be so damn serious.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Usher on how to work hard that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, how will you be a good role model for your community? Number 2, how will you surprise someone today? And number 3, what failure from your past will you learn from?
An aspiring actor, singer, dancer, what advice would you give them? They want to make it.
You want to make it? Then don't do it for the glory of it. Do it for the passion of it, because it's not guaranteed that it will happen. Of course, you can be positive and you should be positive. But at the same time, it doesn't happen overnight. You know, there are special cases and people who have incredible talent, and even those people have to be nurtured by the right people. You know, steadfast. And I guess my greatest bit of advice is work hard. Be a student.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.